Hi everyone. So just a quick energy update here, kind of going off of the back of the updates that I've done regarding April and May, um, as we're kind of revisiting some of the themes that have come up there. So whilst April was quite a challenging month, the beginning of May started to feel calmer and more expansive. But then about halfway through the month, leading to the second half of May, I felt that it was getting quite challenging again, and that there was a lot of feeling of needing to let go and release, which I think was happening on a collective level. But we would have all experienced that as very personal situations or feelings. Sometimes you can attribute what that actually is, and other times it's more confusing. You just have that kind of feeling of discontentment and you don't really understand why. So there really was that feeling of having to let go of something. Maybe that was a physical experience, like a job or a relationship, or it may have been a state of mind or an unconscious programming that was made conscious, that you, or maybe you didn't even kind of consciously realize that that was going on, but starting to feel that something just doesn't quite fit anymore, that there was something that needed to be let go of to transform and to change. And either that can lead to bringing in something new or just a feeling of greater alignment, and understanding of your kind of place and purpose. So we were kind of going through a sort of recalibration of life experiences at the moment. So whatever you're going through, whatever your circumstances are, it was asking you to look at that and decide whether that is still something that you're in resonance with, if you're still in alignment with that, or whether something needs to be taken away or adjusted in some way in order for you to grow and be able to lift your frequency even higher. And one of the things that can be really challenging with that is being able to be true and honest with yourself, because quite often the things that we're being called to look at are something that we actually feel quite reluctant to acknowledge, particularly if it's things like the the um, the conditions that we're living in. So whether it's a relationship or a job or something that feels quite scary at times to let go of if we don't feel quite ready for that. But that the energy was really calling us to be able to look at that and address, like, where does this serve me, where does it not. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to change that circumstance, but it might be that you have to change the way that you think about it or the way that you feel towards it. And in other cases, it will be that you're just not in alignment at all with that anymore, and you need to begin to allow yourself at least to acknowledge that in order for the changes that need to occur to happen gently with your consent, rather than the kind of feeling that it's being ripped apart. So we can use our intuition as well as our knowledge and our understanding to work out what those things are and how is the best way for us to move forward personally. Um, with the with the help of our soul teams, if you're not sure how to kind of go about that, you can just sit quietly with your thoughts and ask for guidance to come through, or for the energy to be released. If you can't recognize what needs to be let go of, to ask for the energy to be released so that you can move through and just allow that process to happen without it being traumatic or stressful for yourself and anyone else that might be involved in that situation. When it comes to unconscious programming, you may need to go deeper for the kind of guidance with that sort of thing, because so much of it we don't realize is something that we think about and focus on a lot of the time. And quite often, our unconscious programming comes from something that has happened much earlier on in life. And sometimes those events are things that we don't hold as significant. So, or we attribute them to something that seems more significant, but actually it was maybe something more minor that triggered the initial way of responding to a certain situation or thing. So sometimes that takes a little bit of deeper work, and there's different techniques that can be used for that, such as NLP and EFT. Doing one-to-one work with an intuitive as well will help you to be able to go into those layers and really see where your energetic blocks are and where you may need some help with releasing, because it could be connected to past lives and stuff as well. So there's a lot that can go on there. But you may just know, you may just kind of be aware that you think a certain way about something. For example, people that have a kind of lack mentality, quite often that is inherited. It goes through many of us because it has been a situation for so many humans for such a long time. And you may be aware that you fall into that mindset of, I don't have this and I need this, but it just takes some work in order to bring yourself out and to change that mindset, especially if you want to change it on a more permanent basis. So do you know what you're being asked to let go of? And if not, just tap into your soul team, ask for higher guidance, and ask them to help you release anything that's blocked and no longer serves you. Maybe these blocks have also led to feelings of frustration. Are you having trouble manifesting? The universe is asking you to step back and stop pushing. That's another thing that has come through really strongly over the past month, is this feeling of wishing to see everything that we want to manifest happen quickly. And therefore, sometimes we go about ways of trying to create that, trying to help that to happen, but in a way that is kind of really pushing against the kind of flow that we should be in. So it takes us out of alignment in a way when we're really trying to become more aligned with something. So maybe at the moment you are just being kind of called to step back and stop pushing, so that you can more easily flow with what you're being called to, flow with what is aligning for you, rather than what you think is something that you need. So there may be something that you want to manifest, and there's a particular outcome that you want, but your mind steps in and starts trying to tell you the ways that it believes that you should be able to manifest that. So it creates circumstances. But by doing so, you eliminate all the billions of possibilities that the universe could kind of create for you, the pathways that could develop if you didn't consciously try and control the way that that thing is supposed to happen for you. So I hope that that's been of some help to you guys, and that you are feeling more aligned, as it has kind of calmed down a little bit as we've stepped into June. So yeah, just really kind of start to feel into where you feel naturally drawn to, rather than what you think you should be doing.